Dial H number 13, written by China Maiville, art by Alberto Botticelli. So last issue, it was a lot, man, but what we found out was that there's another group of dialers that just showed up to assist against the Fixer and Centipede, and they sent him back to the Fixer's, like, home world something. One of them's Open Window Man. All right, this issue picks up with graffiti of basically the night that Batman was made, where guys exiting out of their families exiting out of theater, guy aims a gun at him, shoots the parent, and the kid's left over. And Open Window Man is watching this, and he's like, oh, this always happens. It happens in every world, another orphan. And we see the kid in the graffiti world is talking to Open Window Man that he can see him through the graffiti world. And we see the kid going through the process of like being in the police station, and like it's all done in graffiti, and Open Window Man's just talking to the graffiti kid, and he's like, oh, I don't know why you can see me, but like you should pay attention. You need to understand how police work. It's going to be important for you in the future. And then this is just, I mean, I'm going to do my best, but this is just the explanation issue. So there's tons and tons of realities out there, and like one of them is this one where it's a land of living graffiti, but all of them have heroes in it. And the kid's like, I don't understand what graffiti is, but regardless, like, how come only I can see you? And he's like, oh, like, I don't know, but you're not the only one. And we see down the wall, Roxy and one of the other dialers is talking to the graffiti world's version of the Justice League, basically trying to get in contact with them. But then Graffiti Kid heads back to his manor, and like Open Window Man is just training him in how to become a hero, like Batman style. Like he's giving him the Batman rundown. And we see basically the explanation of who this group is. And their names are Nem, Ijad, Unbled, and Dwan, who are each planning something. We have Yaba, who is training Nelson on how to be like a proper hero. And then we have Roxy is with Banza, who are trying to get the hold of something that belonged to a Captain Random. Turns out Captain Random was a hero in the graffiti world and basically had a dial. And then one day the Fixer showed up and grabbed Captain Random's dial, but Captain Random grabbed the Fixer, one of the Fixer's dials as well, which was the J dial, which allowed the Fixer to jump between worlds. And so without that, the Fixer is unable to jump normally. He has to use things like the abysses and such, which we have seen him do. Bansa and Roxy are trying to get the J dial out of the graffiti world, but they can't figure out a way to do it. So that's that. Meanwhile, we see that the Fixer that killed Captain Random, like they've been fighting the Fixer for years. They sent it back to the world with Centipede, but they realize, oh, that's a mistake because they've been quiet. They've been like silent, and that means they're planning something. So they need to figure out like what to do. And the Graffiti Kid's like, oh, I mean, you think something bad's going to happen, but sometimes they don't happen. And Open Window Man's like, that's what leads to your parents getting shot, kid. That sort of optimism. So at this point, we see the kid goes to sleep, and Open Window Man pulls out a piece of chalk and starts drawing something for him. And then we get more explanation that, okay, so what happened was without a J dial, we have to take the backways between worlds too. However, they have a different way around it because one of them has a G dial, which can summon different gear. So they just keep on summoning gear until they get like a thing that can travel between realities, however well that can work. So at that point, I mean, we keep on seeing the kid training. Just assume he's training Batman style throughout all of this. And Open Window Man's like telling him what to do. We see the gang is trying everything to get the J dial out, but there's like nothing they can even do to do it. And then the kid asks, where did all these dials come from? And he says, it came from the Fixer wants to he doesn't want to break the dials. The dials are already broken. He wants to turn them all the way off. And as to where they came from a place of exile from a lost operator. So at that point, Bansa and Open Window Man are the only two who aren't actually dialers. They have nothing to do with a dial, but they were all when. I mean, I'll get to it in a second, I guess. But they've been traveling throughout places, and they came to a world that had been completely destroyed, and they found a bunch of the Centipede's masks there. So they know Centipede and Fixer are doing something, and they're willing to completely commit genocide in order to do it. So that's a thing. Then we get the backstory on why everyone's in on this. So Yaba came from Earth, just like Roxy and Nelson, found a hero dial in a tree. We have Nem, who found a G dial in some random machinery on his world. We have Ejad, who found a hero dial that is able to copy any other hero dial that's being activated at that moment. We have Dwan, who found an auto dialer that's just keeps on changing, and so he's stuck just changing identities constantly. And we have Unbled, who's a demon from literal hell, and he found a dial that's more broken than most of them, but it still is a hero dial. And turns out that Bansa was a dialer as well, and she used a dial that caused her to steal the powers of Boy Chimney, who was the sidekick of Open Window Man. And when she stole his powers, he ended up dying. So she tracked down Open Window Man, begged for apologies, but he's like, I'm not here to get revenge on you. I want to stop the Fixer from doing that. So they've decided to team up to basically avenge Boy Chimney, more or less. And they've picked up all these other dialers along the way. But it turns out that's his second catastrophe, because his first thing, his origin story to become Open Window Man, was his parents were shot dead in an alley. And one night he was sitting in his room saying, "Father, give me a sign. What should I become?" And rather than a bat, it was just an open window. So he became Open Window Man. So anyway, he looks around the graffiti world and he's like, I don't understand this world at all, because it's all just stone pillars with drawings on them. There's no open windows for me to take advantage of. And the kid's like, oh, but there are two windows. And Open Window Man's like, that's it. So he goes over, he talks to Nem, I think, the one with the gear dial, and says, I need you to dial me something. I have an idea on how to get the J dial out. So they dial something until they get a bus, which can open up the windows. And so he opens the window on the bus and then comes out of an open window in the graffiti world, because that's his power. He can travel between any two open windows. He grabs the J dial from there and says, we will use it to avenge Captain Random, and then leaves through another open window to come back out through the bus. So now they have the J dial. And the book more or less ends with him drawing an entire bat cave underneath the graffiti kid's manor. And he's just like, oh my God, this is fantastic. But no, thank you. It doesn't belong here. This isn't what's meant to be here. Let me figure out what I need to be on my own. And Open Window Man's like, oh yeah, no problem. Don't worry about it. I'm very proud of what you've managed to become, Graffiti Kid. And so he wipes the thing clear, waves goodbye to Graffiti Kid, and now they're on their way with the J dial. This is so dense. This is so much to absorb. But I love the way the story's told, in that it's all done via graffiti and some flashbacks, but mostly the graffiti. It's a lot. It's a lot to take in. And I don't know, because I know this book only goes until issue 15. So maybe this was the point where China Miéville was told, hey, we're canceling it, wrap it up. And so they weren't, maybe this was meant to be spread over a bunch more issues, but I love the way it's told here. So complicated as it may be, introducing a bunch of new topics, it's done fantastically. It's hard for me to express it because it's very much a visual medium, but like it's good. So yeah, overall, I mean, I'll give this one like an 8.5. It's creative in all the best ways. It manages to exposit without feeling like exposition. It's just a solid issue. So yeah, 8.5.